Hey guys, Brent Hull Build Show. Gonna do a bragagram. Gonna tell you a story about the windows that we're doing and the award it won. Come join me today on the Build Show. Okay guys, so we won the Palladio award for our windows. I'm really proud. It's a competition for traditional builders, for classical architects, for classical craftsmen. It's what we do. We won one before, but it was done by an architect to kind of enter for us, and it was very kind to include us. This one is our own submission, so very proud. Now, why did we win the award, okay? So in the Pennsylvania farmhouse, you have a timbered opening, which is what these are here. And you see the timber framing here. So basically, instead of having, a brick arch or a stone arch over each window opening, they actually held the opening open with a timbered frame member, right? And so these are timber frame. You can see the peg up there in the corner because this is mortised into that and it's pegged with a tenon. So it's a really cool detail. And what we did was we bought this old historic lumber. We waited for it to dry. We waited for it to twist. We kind of tried to get it as straight as we could. We put it together. We hollowed out the inside for the weights and pulleys. And so we have this timbered frame window with working weights and pulleys, which is really awesome. Historically, they wouldn't have had weights and pulleys in them. They would have had pegs or something. So it would probably been single hung. Bottom sash would have come up, maybe held up with a stick, maybe held up with a peg. So we kind of got them a great working window in a timbered frame opening. So it's tons of craftsmanship, tons of detail went into it, and so it was a lot of fun. The other cool thing is the way they sit inside the siding. So the framing's different. This is a very thick wall, it's stone, right? That's what the story we're telling. And when it goes into the siding over here, you see it sit proud. Let me show you this. Look what's happening here, guys, right? We've got now our frame sits really proud of this siding, which is a really awesome, cool detail. They look beefy and strong, but they're that same timber framing kind of detail that we've got. We've got the wood screens on these windows, but we've also got wavy glass. I'll show you that inside, but this is a really special detail that we put together to get this kind of authenticity that helped us win that award. All right, I wanted to show you one that was stain grade, and so that you could see the details that we've got in here. We actually have wood pegs, square pegs, holding these mortise and tenons together. That was something that was, very common historically. Before they had good glue isn't really happened until the 30s. And so it was animal hide glue, up until that time. And so, not animal hide and seek, animal hide, right? Their hide, their skin. We've got these pegs. You can see the oak now. It has to be white oak. And so if you want a window that lasts a long time, red oak doesn't stand up to the weather very well, doesn't breathe as well as white oak does. And so it has to be white oak. And then look at this out here, guys. We actually have wood screens, okay? So these wood screens are hung on little clips upstairs, just above this. I can take this thing off, and if you wanted, historically, right, you could put storms on in the winter. We're in Texas, we don't really need storms like they do in other parts of the country, but you could put storms on. And so they would take the storms off in the summer, put the screens on, they get air passing through the house, right? And so it was their air conditioning, and it was their way of handling heat. So anyway, wanted to show you this cool window with that detail. It really creates an authentic historic look. One other point, guys, we've got this wavy glass in there, and you can see these little bubbles and imperfections right there. We're not using insulated glass. Now why? Because if you want a window that's going to last 100 years, I can't put a 15 or 20 year product in there, which is what insulated glass is. And I can't have this depth of profile, right? I can't get an 1 3/8 depth profile because it would all get shrunk if we put in insulated glass. The putty glazing is the sacrificial glazing that allows the window to last longer. And if you watch my video on why you should keep old windows, you'll know that the energy efficiency of these windows versus insulated glass isn't enough to make a difference on your energy bill. And so there's been lies that have been told by the industry for years that you'll save 50% on your energy bills. It's a lie. So this house, because the envelope is so strong, we've got great insulation in the walls. We did not need insulated glass here. In fact, that's why we were able to, on this new house, build it with single pane glass because our envelope was strong. So all good stuff. Really proud of this window. Let me show you one downstairs. Okay, so we made these windows out of oak, and you can see there's, if you get in the glass here, you'll see little spots like this where the glass is reflecting. So we used antique glass. This is Bentheim light restoration glass, so that we'd have, as you stand back and look at it through here, you see this modeling, right? That's what happens in old houses, is as you look at through this old, cylinder glass, it takes you back to a different place in time. Notice too, look at this crack, right? This timbered crack right here shows you that this is a solid piece of timber and that it's cracked and aged over time. We've got, these windows are weather stripped, so they're super efficient. And we've got weights and pulleys, right, going up in there with the ropes and the weights in the pockets, so that we've got these windows that are timeless, right? They really are, but they're new. We're proud about the 100-year window because it's, a new old way of building. This is a window that's going to last for at least 100 years. I had a guy, email me, he goes, "You should call it forever window, because I have an 1820s house and my windows are now 200 years old." So they're old windows, they'll last a long time, right? So, which is the fun thing. But we're very excited to have this Palladio award. It's a very big honor, but we went to a lot of work to get these things right. We built them well. We built them so that they'll last a long time. They're weather resistant, they're weather stripped, and they work like magic. So very proud of this thing. Went to a lot of detail. If you have any interest in these things, give us a shout, info@brenthull.com. Talk to Alice Conley, she's my sales manager. We'd love to talk to you about your window projects. Okay guys, the 100-year window, the Palladio Award, sorry for the bragagram, but we are very proud. Put a lot of work into this window, and for it to be honored and awarded this thing, it was a big deal for us. So be sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Also, our Patreon page, Passion for Craft. We have a whole podcast that we're doing, Passion for Craft. I'm doing it with Richard at Finished Carpentry TV, my son Jackson. We're talking about, how to build right again, how to build this kind of stuff again. So I'm dropping stuff from my library, so there's a lot of good information there. Check it out. I'm Brent Hull. Thanks for watching.